Yeah, welcome to my channel. The encouragement or the reminder that I want to remind us today is that we are worth fighting for. We need to stand on business in life. What I mean by this is like, I think I mentioned this before that there was a time when someone basically called me a coward. And I've thought about this for a very long time and I still think about it. And one of the things that I have to be honest with myself in my journey right now, how it has been. There's been many moments where I did not fight for myself. When I say fight for myself, isn't just about defending myself against something else or someone else, but showing up for myself and doing the things that I know I should be doing. Like for a lot of us have excuses. We have a lot of excuses as to why we're not doing something. But if we're being honest, if we go deep down, it's not about those excuses. They're not really what's stopping us, but it's us. It's us just not showing up. Maybe not having the discipline to do what we're supposed to do. And sometimes it's just that simple. It's just us showing up for ourselves. For example, like you want to have a job, right? You have to go through the process of knowing, finding out what kind of job, where you want to work, and what do you need to do to make yourself more eligible. But there are some of us who would have a desire, a goal. It can be anything. It doesn't just have to be a job, but we're not willing to do the research and that we need to learn about what we need to do in order to be eligible for that job. It's like a lot of time we have wishes and goals that we're not willing to work for. And it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. We might think that other people are better than us. There are some of us who have lived and grown up in the Western world, and we have opportunities that other people don't have. And there's other people who even have come to these countries that we live in, and they have done more things than we have, even though we've had these opportunities much longer. Yes, I am the person that does. I don't like to encourage comparing, but I'm trying to make a point here. That's why I'm saying this. And I feel like I'm speaking to someone, I'm speaking to a situation or something where there might be somebody who have felt like, their life has not been progressing while everybody else around them seem to be progressing. Even people who might have come later in their lives or who have started doing something later in their lives. It doesn't even have to be that they come from another country. It's just somebody that just decided to make a shift and things started working out for them. Or a lot of time we see people and think that things are just working out, but if we're being honest, we know some of these people's stories of where they come from. You see that person like has found a person, their soulmate, but don't forget that maybe that person has gone through a lot of relationships. They have gone through a lot of heartbreak, but they were willing to keep putting themselves out there until they find the person for them. Because they kept trying and not giving up on love, finally they learned the lessons that they needed to learn and went through the healing that they needed to heal, to now be ready for the person that they have now. But you're somebody who's not willing to put yourself out there. You're the person that's like, God gotta drop the person in your living room type of thing. You don't go out, you don't meet people, you don't talk to nobody, you don't do nothing that could put you out there for someone else to see you. You're so guarded that you're not even willing to actually open your heart to anybody to experience. You're afraid of experiencing life. So how is somebody supposed to meet you? You see somebody like, um you going to school with somebody, and now like you're done with schooling and you see someone else has a job and stuff like that, but you forget that maybe you're not remembering that while you guys were still in school, this person was doing internships, this person was doing extracurricular activities. Like they have done their research and they have put themselves out there, um to to be able to have this job now. They try to do everything that they can to make sure that they'll be able to get a job. But you were the person while in school, you were not involved in anything. You were not doing research. There's a career center and stuff like that. You haven't used any of the resources and the tools that's available to you at school to make sure that you will be able to get a job. At least so you can be able to tell yourself, I did everything that I could at the end of the day. Sometimes these are the type of stuff that keeps us from moving forward because we don't look deep enough to try to find things that could help us get to where we want to go. We don't that's Sometimes when we say we don't put in the work, that's what we mean. It's not just you working hard in a certain position in a certain place, but you also constantly being out there, or at least trying to be out there to find things that can help you in your journey. Sometimes you got to look for the resources. You got to ask the questions. You got to talk to people. People are not going to come to you and make sure your dreams come true, your goals come true, your life gets better. Things happen for you. No, you have to go and reach out to them. Sometimes, you gotta go. You gotta go fight. You gotta go fight for something. Fight for yourself. Fight for yourself until you get to where you wanna go. That's the only way. For me, that's the only way. Even if you're someone of faith, even if you're someone of faith, I would say for everybody, for most people, you gotta fight for yourself. You gotta work hard. You gotta go and look for what you need to get to where you wanna go. You have to be willing to move. You have to be willing to live and experience things. You're not going to get a yes every time. And it's not going to feel good to be rejected. It's not going to feel good to feel like lost and confused. It's going to be scary because every time you try to do something, whether it comes to whether it's relationship, whether it's work or any aspects of your life, it's going to feel scary because you don't know what the outcome is. And sometimes you're going to experience some things that's going to make you not want to do it again, try it again. But you're going to have to keep trying. Keep trying. You're going to have to keep trying. Sometimes for some people, trying it again means trying something else. But do something for yourself, especially if you're not in a place where you feel like you want to be. Another thing that I want to talk about is also like us being in places and situations that are meant to elevate us and us not showing up properly. Some of us take opportunities like work or school as like places where we are quietly quitting on ourselves because we're not showing up the way we're supposed to. You're not doing assignments on time. You're not studying for your exams. You know, you're not showing up for classes enough. You're not doing your work as you're supposed to. All of these things will ultimately, of course, not lead you to a path that will put you in a place that is best for you. Because a lot of times we do things and we don't might not think much of it, but there's consequences for every action, whether good or bad. Sometimes you never know how big those consequences might be later. That's why I'm saying with this video, I want to encourage myself and encourage anyone that's watching this to fight for yourself and stand on business. When I say fight for yourself, is whatever it is that you want to do right now, whatever it is, a situation that you're in right now, something that you can do for yourself. I want you to give it your best. Give it your best. Start showing up right now and as the best version of you that you can. Regardless of what you going through, regardless of how hard it is, no matter how many times you have failed, I want you to get up again and keep going. Don't give up on love. Don't give up on life. Don't give up on anything that you find valuable that you want for yourself. I'm not gonna be one to tell you it's easy. I am someone of faith. I do believe in God, but I do not have a life where God just drops everything on me for me and everything just works out. No. I know I'm divinely supported, protected, and all that good stuff. But I'm also someone who, it's like God is like, I've given you everything over there. Everything is available there. I've trained you. Now it's time for you to show up. Use what I've given you to build the life that you're meant to live, that you want to live. So you have things are available, but you don't even know what is available to you, what you can have access to because you haven't looked into it. I start asking questions. I know some of us are introverted, some of us don't like talking to people and stuff like that. But part of being an adult and growing up is knowing when we need to speak up, we need to go and get things done. Is being able to get things done. Because if we don't, it's not going to get done. It's not going to get done until you get it done, until you do it. Nobody's going to come beg you to do things for you to change your life. That's just the truth. Let's be honest. So you have to go and make room for yourself. Find those opportunities for yourself. Whatever area that you are interested in anything you want to do. I want you to start doing research right now. What kind of resources and tools you can use that's available to you where you are and with your circumstances. For some people, there might be some sort of financial support or assistance. You might even be able to find some groups on social media of people that are like you, that in similar situations as you, that might have some things that could help you in your journey. You need to you need community sometimes to get things done, but you got to put yourself out there. If you can't do it in person, you might be able to find something online, but you need to move. You need to be involved, you need to be connected, and you need to do the things that you need to do. I want you to be able to say you've done everything in your power, in your capacity, to try to achieve whatever it is that you want to achieve or to do whatever it is that you need to do to change your life for the better. I don't want it to be that you should have done this, should have done that at the end of the day. At least do that for yourself.